What's going on, everyone? It's time for another film review. Today we're going to go more into the slasher territory and a slasher thriller called When a Stranger Calls. It was released by Columbia Pictures October 22nd, 1979, and it stars Charles Durning, Carol Kane, and Colleen Deerhurst. And it was written and produced by Steve Feeke, produced by Doug Chaplin, and written and directed by Fred Walton. This had who's also done like the sequel When a Stranger Calls Back. He also did like April Fool's Day, The Sitter, The Rosemary Murders, and a whole pile of other stuff. This has a box office earnings of $21.4 million. It was a moderate success when it came out. Now, When a Stranger Calls is interesting. So, as you know, probably know, I classify slasher films into two categories. There's slasher horror films, which are the ones where you don't see the killer or the killer gets revealed at the end. And then there's slasher thrillers, which is more like you see the killer, you know what the killer looks like, you just watch him do it and stuff. Which this one falls under that. They show him in like a half hour after the movie starts. You see him, so you see his face and everything. So this film starts off really well with a lot of good horror elements and stuff, and then it goes more into a character study, thriller type film after. But yeah, so When a Stranger Calls, well, the film starts off with a young lady who is basically babysitting someone's kids, and then some mysterious phone calls keep happening where a random dude's voice keeps asking if she's checked the children, and it gets a little more menacing and gripping as the more the person calls, the more her anxiety sits in and everything. And she calls the police and they trace the call and it's coming from inside the house. And then that's when you see the killer. And then but she ends up surviving. And basically the rest of the film is her living with the trauma of what happened and knowing that the killer may be coming out and trying to get back at her and finish what he started after stalking her family. This is an interesting film because you get to see both sides, and yeah, the killer. You get to see him cope with like knowing that he could get caught. Someone's out there who knows who he is and stuff, so he goes out and tries to hunt her down again and to finish the job. And you get to see him deal with the stresses of that. But you also get to see the other angle with the girl being hunted and stressed, knowing that he could be around at any second. It was very clever, well put together, well acted, well shot, and yeah, the first like half hour is really well put together. There's a lot of good tension and a lot of good tension and mystique, and I love the soundtrack in this where it's just like minimal like piano sounds and things like that. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, but don't go in thinking it's a full-on slasher. You're not gonna know who the killer is and stuff. This is way more on the thriller end of the spectrum than an actual like horror film. But still, the way they did it, they balanced it both out pretty well, and I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give When a Stranger Calls a 3.5 out of 5 because it just falls in your typical murder mystery slasher tropes after the first half hour. So yeah, but it's definitely an interesting watch. So I'll link the trailer down below, like always. And I guess, so you can check that out if it sounds like something you're interested in. And also make sure you check out my Instagram, that's linked down below. That's where I post clips of films from review in the future. All my stories have the film title hashtag and some genre of film and a hashtag so you're aware of it. And also my Letterbox is linked down below, like always. That's where at Derek P Reviews, that's where I post my first star rating after watching the film. So follow me on one of those two platforms, stay in loop with the channel, like this video, share some more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. Let me know if you want me to review the sequel and the remake, which I'll probably do anyways, and down the road. But if you want to see them sooner rather than later, comment that down below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And also, if you have any films or film franchise in any genre, comment those down below too. I'll try to just get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them, if there's any out there that you want to hear my opinions on. So, yeah. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe because hopefully we find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking it together. Somewhat like this, I guess you could say. And also so you hear my opinions on popular films coming out, classic films, and reviews on other things as well. And also make sure you ring that bell because I'm going to continue on with iconic old slasher films like maybe Happy Birthday to Me. That might be a good one. I hear that one's awesome. I've never seen it, so I'm going to probably check that one out next. So make sure you tune in for that. And yeah, watch out for all those creepy phone callers out there. I know most of them are probably telemarketers nowadays, but you never know. So yeah, have fun. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. Hopefully, it's another decent slasher film. We'll see, though. So until then, cheers.